everyone, today we're going to be drawing a very simple, easy cupcake, and we're also going to be coloring it. Let's get started. I'm going to take my Sharpie, and so the first step to drawing our simple cupcake is first we're going to mark our points for the width of the cupcake. So I'm going to make my cupcake like this big. So this is the left one. I'm going to go straight across and put one more where I think this is a good width for my cupcake, because I'm going to make the wrapper part of the cupcake right here, the little cake part, and then I'm going to put 2 layers of frosting with a cherry. So I'm making a pretty heavy cupcake, but we're going to make it very simple and easy to follow along. So now that I created like the wrapper part of it, the width of it, let's create the wrapper now. So for the wrapper part, I'm gonna take my Sharpie and I'm gonna go diagonally down till here. I think I'm gonna end my thing right here. So I'm just gonna put a little point so I know when to end it. So I'm just gonna create my line, just straight line down like that. And now I'm going to create another straight line down the same way. So to do this, to make sure like both sides end up looking similar, I take my finger and point at this point and go straight across and make one point, somewhat close to this point. And then I'm going to connect this line, this dot to this side with straight line, just like this one. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is I want to add some zigzag pattern, like up and down zigzag pattern for the wrapper. So to do that, I'm just going to go create little zigzags like up and down and do that for the whole thing. Last one, I'm just going to connect it like that. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start with now the top part of my cupcake, and I'm going to create the cake part. I'm going to make it like fluffy cake, so I'm going to make like cloud shapes. To do this, I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to make a really curvy line. Like that, like it's a big curve. I'm going to do that for the next side as well. I'm going to go all the way until I reach here. Make a big curve. And make another one. Almost like really big U shapes. And this one's going to be my last one. And you want to try to make it like really circular over here. And yeah. Okay, now I got my cake part done, I'm gonna go back to my wrapper and work on the lines. So for this lines, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna make this zigzag connect to this little open window here. I'm gonna connect each one I'm gonna connect them like that. So I'm just gonna go somewhat on any part of the cake, and I'm going to bring it down and touch the top of a zigzag. Same thing. Touch the top of the zigzag. So there we have all our zigzags, and I made them all touching the cake. I have 6 little sections. So now let's go back to our cupcake top part. So now I'm going to create my first layer of frosting. I'm going to do the same thing I did here, but on top, and make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to make another curve. Like that. The same thing, a little bit small. And I'm going to make it go all the way down here, just like we did this one. And this one is going to curve up and make my final one. Like that. And I'm going to connect these 2 points just like that. Now I'm going to make another one on top of this layer. So to do that, I'm going to do the same thing I did here, but add another one. And this one's going to be even smaller. So like that. I'm going to make another one. Another one. And then finally, one more for it to curve upwards. Just like that. I'm going to connect these two with just a line, just like that. So now that we have our 3 layers, I'm going to close this layer, but I'm going to remember I'm going to put a cherry on this layer. So I'm going to make this layer somewhat bumpy. When I say bumpy, I'll show it like this. And that's where my cherry is going to be. So as you can see, I did a little, I almost made like a curve like that, but I made a little bump in it so I can add the cherry. And now I'll just add the cherry right now. So for the cherry, I'm simply just going to make a little circle, but I'm going to make a little bump on the top. Like that, and then, so it's a really small bump there. And the reason why I have like a little bump is for the stem to come out. So for the stem, I'm going to, of course, create a little line like that. It's almost like a downward little curve. And then I'm going to make my stem this much high. And go like that. And I'm going to make a little round curve on the top of it and then bring it back down. Just like that. And the next final thing I'm going to do on my cupcake is I'm going to add little sprinkles on these 2 frosting layers. So when I color it, it'll be more colorful. So I'm just going to create little circles, like 1 circle. I'm just adding it somewhat close to each other, like a little gap. Just small little circles. If you guys want, you could even add like the sprinkles that look like little lines. But I'm just adding circles because I like the look of it. So yeah, I put 7 little circles here. And I'm going to put it on this second layer of frosting too. So just like putting them, I'm spacing them apart so I don't put too much on one of them. And I put 7 on the bottom one as well. So that's it for our drawing of our cupcake, but now let's color it. So I'm gonna be using markers in my coloring process, and specifically I'm using the Shadow Art markers. These markers are really, really good because they have a fine tip and also a broad tip, so you can color small and big spaces, and they're also really good quality. So for this drawing, I'm going to be using these colors. I'm going to be using 8 colors for the wrapper, the cake, frosting, the cherry, and also these little sprinkles. These are the colors I'm using for all of my things. I'm using 2 shades of blue. I'm using simple red. I'm using pink, yellow, peach, green, and brown. So let's get coloring. You guys can definitely use the same colors and follow along with me, or you could be creative and use your own colors and yeah, be colorful. So for the wrapper, I'm making it like a light brown color. So I'm just coloring all of them, all 6 light brown color. You guys can also make like a really colorful on the bottom by making like multicolored. Like you can each different panel a different color. But I'm just gonna keep it simple and use one color for all of it. so I finished coloring the wrapper. So now let's go on to the cake part of it. I'm using a very light peach color for the cake part. So to do the cake, I'm just gonna go all the way here with this color. My cupcake is going to be vanilla flavored. You guys can be creative and make it like chocolate, strawberry, whatever flavor your favorite cupcake is. There we go. So I finished coloring my cake part. So now I'm going to be coloring the layers of frosting. I'm going to make my first layer pink. I'm going to make it multicolored for this one and this one. I'm making the top one blue. I'm making the top one blue and the bottom one pink. So let's get going. I'm just using pastel pink and blue for this. Just working my way around the sprinkles because I'm going to color my sprinkles multicolor. So I'm just coloring the frosting around everything. Okay, so I finished coloring my layer of frosting. Now let's go on and color the top frosting. I'm gonna color this, like I said, a light blue color. So let's color it. Okay, so I finished coloring my frosting. Now let's go on to the final top part, which is the cherry. So for the cherry, I'm gonna make the cherry red and then the stem green. So let's first start with this cherry. I'm just using regular red to color the cherry. Just like that. And now let's color the stem on the cherry, just with a regular green color. Yay. So we finished the cherry. Now all we have left to do is do these little details. So I'm decided to go in with many colors. I'm using these colors, red, orange, red, yellow, blue, green, and pink to color all of the little frosting. So let's color the frosting. I'm going to take green and color like a little portion of it. Just like 2 each. I think 2 for each color should be a pretty good amount. Yellow. I like 3 yellow, because yellow's a nice bright color, I feel like. Using red now. for blue, I'm only gonna put blue on this one because, like I said, we already have blue on the top. So I'm just gonna put blue here and here. And then pink, the same thing, because you have pink at the bottom. I'm only gonna put pink on the top. Like one here, and yeah, just one. Then I'm gonna add another red. And another yellow. Another green. Right there. And then the final one over here, I think I'll make it red because we don't have a red one on the bottom. So I successfully finished my cupcake. This is the final product with all the colors and drawings. Thank you so much for following along with me. Thank you for watching.